Hello, happy Tuesday. The market is in shambles. It is, everyone is upset. As you can see here, we've got Shiv talking about being liquidated and saying thank you and goodbye. We've got Mando saying he's working at McDonald's now. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Everyone's in peril because, the market is really, the market's not doing well, to be honest. And I wanted to test out a new format that was a bit more casual, a bit more slow. Maybe you could listen to it in the background, or maybe I'll do like an audio version, because I've done 2 days of research to, break down a tweet. One post I've been researching for 2 days, because it's from someone that I highly respect, Cobie. I've mentioned him in some videos before, and I just think he's one of the smartest people to listen to in the space. He's an OG from 2012 or something. He also just sold his company, Echo, for $400 million to Coinbase. And he did all of that without launching a token in the crypto industry. And that's kind of the crux of what all this is about. So this is the tweet. And rather than read through this whole thing, I'm going to break it down. And I did like this whole, look at this, I've done this whole thing, I'm going to go through it. Really long tweet, but he basically says that down only, which is ironic because his show is up only. I'm probably being a bit too poetic in saying that. It's not what he actually said. Alts on average will continue to get more difficult and dangerous to trade, in my opinion. Irreversible trend. Irreversible downward trend, says Cobie, which is a hard thing to hear from someone who, he knows the market. He knows the market, right? Actually, I think I want to pull up a video. Cobie came from not much money to having money. It's a nice little take from him. I think it paints a picture of the type of guy he is. You assume that he's a nice guy. I mean, I have no idea. I've never met him.
Before I had money, I thought everything was a scam and it was all rigged and blah, 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 blah. And now having money and being able to help my family out, for example, and seeing my parents' personalities change because they don't have to worry about certain things anymore, like making ends meet or like what's going to happen when they retire. Seeing their personalities change and getting to know them more as people because some number changed on a screen makes me A, like everything seems like a giant scam, but B, feel like I was also slightly robbed of experiencing that while I was growing up or while I was younger because they had these burdens and had to worry about them. So it doesn't weigh on me so much, but I do think a lot about that. Like it feels like everything is a bit of a scam for some like weird numbers on a screen. And it means that people like live their lives in ways where they don't get to properly know the people around them because everyone's always worried about short-term stuff.
Look, I'm a sucker for this. I think it's cool that he's got $500 million now, maybe $1 billion. I don't know. I think it's cool. I think that he has a unique perspective on when he says stuff, looking at the market. I think that he has probably a way to be able to think about things a bit more, laterally. From here, he goes into 5 reasons why he believes this. 5 reasons why these tokens are in an irreversible downtrend. Alt season might not happen if you want to be literal. The first one is sophisticated traders. He says, 1, massive competition amongst increasingly sophisticated buyers who simultaneously believe less, which was the crypto ethos that you would believe in tokens. You would hold them forever. I mean, that's Bitcoin, right? It's like, just don't sell everything else. But traders are different now. Traders aren't just buying on spot, just buying the thing and holding it for 10 years. If you do that now, you're probably going to get wrecked. And that's because TradFi, like trading professionals and everything, are very much in crypto. They're thinking about crypto more than ever before. I mean, that is pretty much what crypto is now. And this is proven statistically by Amina Group, a very big Swiss bank, serious people. Across every major exchange, derivatives trading once again exceeded spot trading, presently in the 5 to 10x range, showing a trend that began in 2023. It's very, very different. Who you're trading against is not the guy who likes, I'll show you. This is who typically traded crypto. I'm not showing this to diss this person. This is my type of person. Let's pull up, this one here.
I reached out to some random kid who YOLO'd his entire life savings into a crypto called Dogecoin. I reached out to him on Reddit. I drove to LA to see how he lives so he could show me his frugal lifestyle. Luckily, I didn't get mugged, but we became great friends, and the rest is history. And now I'm like his big brother who tries to discourage him from YOLOing all of his money away. I reached...
Yeah, cool. How did that How did that go?
With the Dogecoin millionaire to see his account, hear his thoughts, and get an update on one of the craziest stories I have ever covered here in the channel.
Okay, so now do you regret holding so long?
Ooh. Yeah. You know, I'm human. Yeah, I should have sold some.
What if it doesn't recover, though?
If it doesn't recover, see, I look at Dogecoin as like a savings account. And I know that's very, what's the word I'm looking for? That's very
irresponsible.
Irresponsible.
With the
Now, this isn't a takedown for Dogecoin. I'll be very, very clear. I haven't done any analysis. This isn't a takedown of any project at all. This is like more of a systemic look at stuff. I just liked this guy, and I think he represents probably me, to be honest. I wanted to use him as an example. Comparatively, this is like, I guess, someone similar to him. He's a YouTuber. Again, very different, though. The way he's talking about things and the way he talks about crypto here, I mean, he's probably a professional. I don't know why I discredit him. I don't know if he's probably a professional. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It'd be funny for some of you guys to go, isn't Luke a crypto guy, right? Isn't he the crypto guy? Why is Luke looking at stocks? Is he not believing in crypto anymore? And the reality is, I'm here to trade the market. I'm here to give myself the best opportunity to invest in the world of global financial markets. I'm not stuck in one lane. Now, crypto was undoubtedly where the opportunity was at for 2020, 2021. If you're stacking back in at the lows of 2022 and 2023, undoubtedly amazing opportunities. But in 2025, those opportunities have gotten thinner, right? And dramatically thinner as you go through the rest of the year, to the point where I was like, don't think this is the spot for my money anymore if there's not a whole lot of opportunity here. And
so he goes on to talk about like guiding his whole community of people to move completely into stocks. Didn't wait for alts to roll over, didn't do any of that stuff, just like moved over, very like, this is dead. Alts are dead, I'm moving over. And, you know, based on what I'm presenting here, he could be correct. But it's a very different mentality to the Dogecoin millionaire, who's probably still holding his Doge, waiting for his $1 target. And he will continue to do that. Maybe Doge will go there, but there's a lot of tokens that you could have this belief in the same way. And just from a fundamental standpoint, it's tough. And that's kind of what Cobie's breaking down. It's in an irreversible downtrend. One more example. This is Larry Fink, by the way, the CEO of BlackRock.
As you know, I was a skeptic. Yes. I was a proud skeptic. And I studied it, learned about it, and I came away saying, okay, my opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe the opportunity today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's...
Very different. He is trading crypto now. He was not trading crypto that long ago. He was not even interested. He was trying to destroy crypto. The resistance was crypto. Very, very different. So yeah, Cobie's point, sophisticated traders, you're trading against different people now. If you have been here for a while, if you were here in 2021, you are trading against different people, and it's very, very important to remember that. If you're in trading, it's the common thing. It's like you are, statistically you will lose. Rough. The next point that Cobie makes is perps versus spot. Rather than just buying things and holding, it's a similar type of thing I was talking about. This is a chart, exchange BTC futures open interest, February 2021 to now. And look, you can see that there's this will go up because the price of Bitcoin has gone up. I think that's important to say, the price of Bitcoin goes up, so open interest will go up, just like statistically, there's more money that's worth, goes up. But you can see, I'm not a statistician, so take this with a massive grain of salt. Actually, I don't even know if I'm confident presenting this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So take it with a pound of salt. The open interest green is hugging the yellow line here and going over it. Whereas here, it's far underneath it, which shows a trend difference. I can't fact check that, so just grain of salt. Total liquidations chart. This one is much more easy to read, but perps trading involves liquidations, and you can see that the amount of liquidations is just increasing. And even this line here, that's long liquidations. This was the liquidation event that happened a couple of weeks ago. It's just hurts to see, to be honest. And here's an example of the perps trading epidemic. No, the perps trading situation.
I have it set to 500x leverage, and that probably sounds super, super crazy, but it's not. It's just giving me the potential buying power to use all of that 500x leverage. So when I'm entering a trade, I don't actually know how much leverage I'm using of that 500x leverage times like my account, because the whole account is already leveraged that. So that's why you need to use risk management, because if I don't have a stop loss on a trade and I place just like a crazy lot size or like crazy contract size and it falls, I'm going to lose my whole account. But if I have a stop loss and I calculate.
Okay, so just as a spoiler alert here, I don't know what happened to TJR. I'm actually not familiar with him. Like, I'm not really a trader, I'll be honest with you. I'm really bad at trading. If he did use this strategy on October the 10th during the liquidation event, people's stop losses didn't trigger. And that means that people did lose their whole account and he would have been on 500x, which means he would have been one of the people that blew up. I hope that didn't happen to him. I hope that didn't happen to anybody, to be clear. But it changes the landscape of how things happen. Prices can seem higher because they're being bought with money that isn't actually real. People are buying and pushing the price of things up or down with money that they don't have. It's all loaned money. That's what Perps is. And, you know, it's this headline here says $19 billion of crypto liquidations didn't mean $19 billion in losses. Real losses were far smaller, and that's because it's phantom leverage. It's not actually real money. And here is a take from Seb Montgomery on this event and how big it was. It did really rock crypto. And honestly, it wouldn't have happened to this scale if Perps wasn't a thing. So the market has changed.
What on earth has just happened in the last 24 hours? We've seen $20 billion or thereabouts liquidated. It has been the biggest liquidation event in history. A lot of people don't even understand how it happened. And we're going to go over what caused it.
So Perps trading has changed everything. It's changed stuff. It's a different market now, trading in a different market. Makes sense. The next point that Cobie made was about number of tokens and unlocks. Huge dilution in coins with market valuing stuff high by default without justification. First of all, there are so many tokens. Huge dilution, massive dilution. This is the chart from 2017. I think when Cobie first entered, I'm talking off the top of my head now. When I was researching this, I think I saw it was like 20 tokens, 7 tokens. Like, it was not much, right? So his perspective would be seeing like a massive change of tokens. We've got Solana 34 million, Base 12 million. You can see Base is really starting to ramp up now with like the Creator Coin stuff that's happening, but total of 55 million tokens. Of those 55 million though, there are only 17,000 that are actively tracked or active, according to CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. There are many tokens aren't on those platforms. But if you imagine that all of the money that existed in crypto, right, and it gets divided, the more you divide that up, well, yeah, you start to have nothing left. It's like trying to feed too many people. You can't feed everyone if you only have a certain amount of food, and these tokens cannot survive, just statistically speaking, right? So that doesn't mean that they're all going to die. It just means that the alt season that we may have known in the past, where everything goes up, as Cobie's podcast was aptly named Up Only, it starts to paint a darker picture where that might not be possible anymore. Like, it just fundamentally isn't possible, and I'll keep unpacking this. On top of that, all of these tokens have unlocks. Basically, supply is released on a schedule, and the unlocks are, well, massive. So there's $2.1 billion worth of crypto scheduled to be unlocked in November this year. And I will say, I'm not calling out any specific projects. I just found these on the internet. Some of these I'm actually pretty bullish on, despite the unlocks, because I think they have good tech. In the first week, this week, all of this is happening. All of this unlocks are happening. Percentages of supply are being unlocked to demand that doesn't exist. The market is already going down. So if these get unlocked and they get sold, there's more sell pressure going down. Demand has to come from somewhere, right? It means that fundamentally these tokens are harder. And I've literally just picked 4 random ones here. Like, I've picked 4 random tokens for this, and I've gone onto CoinMarketCap. You can go across to token unlocks and you can see unlock schedules, and you can even hover along and it tells you what's being released and how much and all that kind of stuff. It's really good. I've spoken about that again in a past video. But the unlock schedule here of like Starknet, and I've got the price here of all time since it's starting to be released. 95% down. Arbitrum, 85% down. All-time Berachain, 86% down. And you can see this is the token unlock schedule, right? Like, Berachain hasn't even really started to unlock tokens, which is scary. But in January, yes, the unlocks start. You can see them here. Like, it kind of every month or whatever the schedule is. And that goes to the team, so the team can get paid. It goes to the early investors, so they can get paid because they bought the tokens, which have like, they're locked up for a while, all that kind of stuff. But it's the same. It's the same on all of these, right? And this is like just constant pressure. Very similar mechanic to Bitcoin, obviously, but it's very different because you have to like earn the unlock. You are earning by working in some of these cases or investing early, but it's very different. And the problem is that the prices these list at is they're down 85, all these percentages, is they're listed at a very, very high price. They start off with these really big price valuations. And this is the next point that Cobie makes and kind of makes in this one, high by default without justification. Oops, sorry, I gotta go down here, getting lost in my big document. 4, launch FDVs and down-only pricing. So launch FDVs, always capturing 100% of optimism for the asset without respecting price valuation. Here's a typo there. Let's not bully him for that one. Here, basically, FDV is fully diluted value. These tokens are launching at massive valuations, like billions of dollars at times, before they've even floated on the open market to find the price. And it became the model of the way tokens would release over the last couple of years. And it's kind of led to, well, the charts and the token unlock schedules that you just saw. And those who buy on the open market, public, getting wrecked. So, you know, FDV is this price that gets set based on the market, but the market is setting the price based on like a false reality, as if these token unlocks don't exist. Like everyone knows they exist, but people are buying and selling them at this high price because that's like the last price sold, rather than going like, what is this company actually worth, and all of that kind of stuff. And I won't get into like other conspiracy theories of why prices are held up, but it's questionable, right? There's a report from Binance, and that's what this is from. I'm just going to go into this because they, in 2024, released this report, which kind of flagged it. And Cobie also had some articles in his Substack that kind of flagged it. It was all, the writing was on the wall, very literally. I'll scroll down here, right? Basically, this figure 1, FDV of tokens launched in 2024 is the lowest in the past 3 years. Figure 1 presents market caps and FDVs for tokens launched in the past 3 years, highlighting a growing disparity between these metrics over time. So basically, FDVs and market caps are becoming further and further apart. And this is recently launched tokens have low circulating supplies. So if we look here, we've got ZK, 6% was unlocked on launch. Starknet, 7%. This is from 2024. So Athena, 10%. Like some of these aren't from this year. Unfortunately, the trend got worse. Unfortunately, the trend on all of these got worse, arguably. Like less tokens were unlocked and high FDVs were being sold. And then it floated the market, this high price, because the demand is there, but like it's not taking into account that like in 3 months, another $1 million worth of tokens is going to be dropped. Another 3 million worth of tokens is going to be dropped again in another 2 months. Every like relentlessly for years, these tokens are going to be released into the market that's priced as if that isn't a thing that's coming, which is tough. Please note, this is a disclaimer that I highlighted because it's also relevant to how I feel about it. Please note that this is solely to illustrate the prevalence of low float and high FDV tokens and does not reflect a negative assessment of the selected project's value or potential, as there are many other factors at play. Again, I haven't analyzed any of these tokens specifically or their fundamentals much other than things I already knew. I'm not calling anyone out. I'm really not. That's not my intent here. I just want to look at like the tokenomic structure of this stuff because it's really concerning. And I think most people know it, but I think there's a lot of people that don't know it. I was one of the people that kind of knew it. I didn't realize the depths of it. That's why I'm making this. A total of $155 billion will be unlocked in the next few years. So yeah, this is obviously $155 billion is going to be unlocked in the next few years. I'm just like repeating that in my head. It keeps like rattling in there. It's like $155 billion will be unlocked in the next few years into the market to be bought by someone, I guess. Yes, crypto is growing, but it's becoming very project-based because the sophisticated traders aren't buying everything. They're buying specific assets based on the knowledge that they have. They've been trading for years. They've been in the Shark's tank. They're not just buying whatever because other people bought it. Like they're actually researching stuff. They're not holding it forever. They're selling it when it's at the sell point and they're buying something else. And that's a whole other ball game. The last point 5 that Cobie made to back up the down-only trend forever is pre-market price discovery. And this is happening not just in crypto, it's happening in everything. OpenAI just, I think they're talking about going public at $1 trillion after already having like a whole bunch of, I think they went to like Series E or something. They kept raising. So they've already sold heaps of the stock. People already own the asset before the public even had a chance. And it's valued at 1 trillion, which I don't know where that sits in the scheme of companies in the world, but it's definitely very, very high. So that means that the public is already buying. Like there's the chance to make money is gone. And this is happening in crypto at larger and bigger scales. Again, not calling out any projects, using very recent ones and ones that were just easier to find data on. Mega ETH, which arguably is, it's been coined as like a good pre-sale, right? It still had multiple rounds, but it did the rounds with community. Like more people had access. It wasn't just insiders. That's why it's been coveted as like a positive thing. But there was a seed round. It raised $20 million in 2024. There was a community round again in December 24. Raised 10 million. I need to check these numbers. I think I didn't. Yeah, okay. I didn't update this. So just scratch the specific numbers here. I'm going to be real. I've been researching this like crazy just to make a video. My point is there's multiple rounds that happened. These numbers here specifically are incorrect. There was also a Fluffle NFT round. And then this week they had a public token sale with the raised $50 million target and valuation of $1 billion. This one here, Monad's happening now. There was a seed round in February 2023. It raised $19 million. This is years ago, just to be clear. And it valued the company at $200 million FDV. And then there was a Series A. Again, there might be more rounds. This is all private stuff, right? This is stuff that I could like find. There might be more stuff that happened in private and all that kind of stuff that we don't know about. Series A, April 2024, raised $225 million. And it was valued at $3 billion post-money. $3 billion before a product is live. This happened a year ago. There's no product live. Again, the pre-market price discovery is Cobie's point here. The price is being discovered before it's even on the market. That's creating possibly like hard to fathom numbers and maybe really false expectation, because at the launch of things, there's a lot of hype. And pre-market futures, yes, this is open trading, but again, trading like heavily speculative. Like it's not trading anything that's real. It's just pure speculation. And it happened with Berachain as well, a seed, a Series A, SAFT. Yeah, I'm not going to dig into all this. The point I think is made. There's a lot of pre-market price discovery, and that pre-market price discovery is happening on a low percentage of tokens being unlocked. FDV isn't even shown on something like CoinMarketCap in terms of ranking. It shows the unlocked tokens. It's a whole can of worms with stuff happening. So Cobie ended with a summary, a couple more points. So overall, these 5 points paints a pretty grim picture for most altcoins. I didn't enjoy researching this for a couple of days, and my point isn't to say that alts are dead forever. I'll get onto that. And that's not Cobie's either. But Cobie's summary, he says, the average 2017 buyer buys spot and hodls, weeks, months, because they believe. Add on the way up, asset was trading at a low value early, so it works out. Dogecoin millionaire, perfect example, right? I'm that. That's me. I first bought crypto in 2017. That's me. I didn't buy much, but yeah, that's me. And honestly, I've been wrecked in this next era. Average 2025 buyer is buying on Perps without checking the valuation and sells whenever their P&L goes red or force sells in liquidation. They force sell in liquidation because they're Perps trading, or they're a shark. They're trading. They're going to sell. They're going to sell and rotate quickly. It's very different. They're two very different worlds. And applying the 2017 thought process to 2025, you will lose your money. You'll lose. Despite all that, the positive of this is the next part of his tweet. However, it will remain the best place for returns for smart people. Skill expression and asset selection is much more important. Patience much more highly rewarded over being early on liquid markets last few years. And then outlier assets will continue to exist, maybe one every couple of years. And when they turn up, you can turn your brain off and 2017 it. In my opinion, anyways, hopefully. Hopefully. He hopes this is true. That some alts can live, but he does think that alts will die, most of them. And yeah, it's a pretty damning picture when I look at it all too. I'll be honest with you. It doesn't make me feel very good. I put Hyperliquid here because it's an example of maybe an outlier. In my opinion, it could go down massively from here. It really could. And the thing about all of this, right? The thing about all of this, he's correct. Alt season, you have to be very smart. You have to be, think about the right assets. And the reason I'm positive about this is because adoption is at all-time highs. Adoption's at all-time highs. Price doesn't matter for real products, maybe. I've got a typo there now. Who accepts Bitcoin now? It's like PayPal, Microsoft, AT&T, Apple, Tesla. I just found this on the internet. I haven't verified this. Shopify is the big one for me. I have verified this one. Shopify partners with Coinbase and Stripe to bring USDC payments to everyday e-commerce. Shopify powers 12% of all e-commerce in the US and 30% of top e-commerce sites globally. This is not a small thing. Crypto is becoming mainstream. It's being adopted everywhere. While the charts and all the tokens in altcoins are doing this, they don't add up. And that could mean that yes, this is a buying opportunity, but I think we just need to go into it with a very different mentality. That's the whole thing I'm thinking about here. You got to think about it differently. This is okay. I'm going to show this video of Trump. If you haven't seen it, it doesn't really get much more reaching adoption than this, to be honest. Like the president of America, whether you like this guy or not,
I only care about one thing. Will we be number one in crypto? Crypto has turned out, and in that sense, I've been right. Crypto's turned out to be a massive industry, if you want to call it that. And I'm very proud to say that we are far and away ahead of China and everybody else. Now, China's getting into it very big right now.
It's massively adopted. And all in all, my summary for this, what do you take away? It's a new paradigm. I think it's kind of, many tokens will go to zero, even the big ones. I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. Maybe they'll all go up. Maybe they'll all go up again. Maybe I am a bottom signal right now. But I think specific assets can pump. Altcoins, specific ones can pump. 100% they can go up, but not every alt. And that means that asset selection is very, very, very important. Asset selection is everything. Regardless if alt season does happen, it's not that alts are dead. It's that picking the right assets matters. And by doing so, why would you hold something that had bad tokenomics, bad all of this other stuff, questionable everything, when you could instead be holding something that, made sense on paper, doing your research? Maybe a lot of it doesn't make sense. Maybe it's like that dude that I showed and it's like, get out of crypto. I hope not. I'm in crypto anyway. Like I'm here working and building and everything else. And I think this is my rules from diving into all this. My positive perspective that I'm trying to have is token price does not equal project value. I think there's misprices. There's a mismatch in price in so many places right now. So many places, both negatively, like they should come down, and positively, they should go up. And that for me is like one of my strategies for like, if I want to buy a token, maybe you shouldn't buy anything, by the way. I'm not recommending anything. This is just my personal opinions of how I do stuff. Look for the mismatch. And I did that recently with a token called SATA, a team. They're really good. I did my research. I spent days researching. I spent days understanding what this tech is, how it worked, all that kind of stuff. And I bought down here. Everyone else didn't really care, to be honest. It was very it was an oracle. It's not sexy unless you like data. And then the liquidation event that I spoke about earlier is like here. And this is the time frame of, the market tanking and going down, like alt's going down. It's holding its support and it's going up. And I think like that was a mismatch in price. The point is there are opportunities if you, as Cobie said as well, try to be smart, not too smart, but buying dumb stuff will get dumb results. I think you'll be punished for that more than ever now. You'll be punished unbelievably. Unfortunately, I wish you could just buy Doge and hold it forever. I wish I felt that way. I don't think I do anymore, and that sucks, and I'm letting go of that. But it doesn't mean the opportunities don't exist. And focus on building. For me, that's making videos. I'm fortunate enough to make videos about this tech that I do love, and I think that there's so much tech that is great. And the price of the token doesn't represent how good the tech is or the potential of the tech. And I'm going to keep making videos, hopefully keep making content. I don't know if I'm going to keep making videos like this one. It's really long. I don't even know if anyone's going to watch to this point, to be honest. I spent a long time researching. I figured maybe even if one person watches this and they get value out of all of the research and breaking it down, then that would be cool. I think it's just like, rather than just buying things, think about what you're buying. Like do the research or just don't do it. Just buy Bitcoin instead, because I think it's a market where you will get very, very punished for just doing whatever. Yes, you can follow the calls of somebody else if you trust them. And I have a video about trying to figure that out and all the games that get played. There's just endless different things. So stay safe. Crypto is being adopted around the world, and that's really cool. Projects don't actually need tokens. Like I mentioned earlier at the start, Echo was sold for $400 million and it didn't have a token, and it was arguably a crypto product. So I guess you could say an investment product, not a crypto product, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I think, anyway, I'm going to stop yapping. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the research. I guess it was a bit of a presentation. Do I have any other stuff here? No, that's it. It's not really the best thing to end on, is it? Oh well. Peace.